He sent me two payments and it has child support in the message, and I don't mind giving him credit for that. 300 and 430.
In my Cash App account, I've sent her $4,000.
He has never sat there and provided for me and my children. With my son, I gave birth alone, and I spent the first 7 to 10 months, 10 months probably, around there, raising him by myself. And then
Mr. Red, I need you to take off your mask there so I can see your face and your glasses. You
Se
can
tiene
leave
que
it.
quitar
It's,
los
it's
lentes
cold where I'm at.
Okay, do you need an interpreter?
No.
no,
The state is requesting that the court take note that both parties did appear before the court.
So noticed.
Thank you. At this time, Your Honor, the state would like to call Ms. Rodriguez. Ms. Rodriguez, can I get you to state your name for the record?
Jennifer Leslie Rodriguez.
And Ms. Rodriguez, can I get you to state the name of the child or children that we're here in reference to?
Julian Miles Rodriguez and Ellie Gabriela Herrera.
In the name of the children's father?
Andrew Dylan Herrera.
Has there been any issues relating to family violence between the two parties?
Yes. We
And
had a
when-
case. I'm sorry, go ahead.
When was the last incident?
Last incident took place November 2nd of 2023, a month prior to having my baby girl.
And can you explain to the court exactly what happened?
My window was broken into after a disagreement, and then he fled, came back, and then fled again. I had to call the cops like 2, 3 times, but this isn't our first. It's just the first time that I took, the first time that I actually decided to report it. I mean, I had priors before having my first child with him of him breaking my window twice, but I didn't go further into getting a restraining order, and I wish I did because it just continued. So I decided at this point, when enough was enough, I'm about to have a daughter. I don't want to deal with this again. So a child support CPS case was opened, and he didn't agree to the domestic violence safety plan. He told the caseworker he didn't want anything to do with it, so they closed it. Told me that they weren't going to give me so much of a hassle and stress because I'm about to have a child, and they just kind of closed it and just send me the safety plan and let me know that if I ever came to this position that I have that on file.
And
So
was the father
sorry.
was the father physically violent with you during this incident?
Yes, he was. They took pictures of that, so that's on record as well.
And what happened, ma'am?
He put his hands around my neck and was trying to get me to.
Really? Really? Okay.
Nobody's asking you to talk right now,
That's
Mr.
not
Red.
appropriate. We're in
My
court.
bad. I'm sorry.
And this is what I'm trying to avoid, Judge. I don't want to
No,
go back
no,
and forth.
it's my court. Let me handle my court.
Okay, all
I
right.
gotta remind him of what he's gotta do. We're taking turns. Remember, we talked about this at 9 o'clock.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you gotta
okay.
let me do my job.
Yes, sir. Yes, so there was pictures taken. My sister came for the second time he came, and she saw him also just kind of throwing things, trying to grab things that he purchased my son, like just to be spiteful, like grabbing things he purchased him. And I had to call the cops again, and they came, but he left then. And then it's just, this is reoccurring. And I this is why I would like to meet somewhere. I don't really want to see him for visitations or anything of that matter. I just want to hold him accountable, and in this cycle that we have going on, in the best interest of our children, I just want him held accountable and
Right.
safe from
And
all.
based off of those previously reported issues, are you requesting that you be named as the sole managing conservator for the children in this matter?
Yes.
Do you feel that this would be in your children's best interest?
Yes, sir.
And are you requesting that your information such as your address and telephone number be withheld from the record?
Yes, sir.
All right, and are you in agreement for the children's last name to be changed to Herrera?
I do not mind. Yes, my son is the only one that he didn't show up for his birth. He was due on his birthday. He didn't show up, and that's the only. And I've tried to get him to change that name already, and he hasn't done that. So I do not mind, to answer your question. I wouldn't mind that.
All right, and the state has used the father's reported income at $5,200 a month for the calculation of support, and requesting that the father pays a total of $910 per month for child support. Are you in agreement to that amount?
Yes, that's fine.
And how do your children currently receive insurance? Is it through the state or through your employer?
Medicaid. They have
And
Medicaid.
thank you, ma'am. And based off of the previously reported income, the state is requesting that the father pays medical support in the amount of $300. Are you in agreement to that amount?
I'm in agreement. Yes, sir.
And you are requesting 10 months of retroactive support, is that correct?
Correct.
And just to confirm, of those 10 months that you're requesting, the father paid you no support during that time frame. Is that correct?
He sent me 2 payments, and it has child support in the message, and I don't mind giving him credit for that because I'm not here, like I said, to knock him down. I would give him credit for that.
Okay.
Those 2 payments were of 300 and 430.
Thank you, ma'am. Just a moment. All right, with a credit of $730, the state will request a retroactive support judgment in the amount of $8,370, to which the state will request that the father pays that at $78 per month. Are you in agreement to that amount?
Yes,
All right, and as it relates to the visitation, are you requesting that the father has supervised visits every other Saturday from 12 to 2 p.m. at the police station?
yes, sir. That would, yeah, that works for me. PlayStation is as good as it's gonna get because I wouldn't mind doing like a park or something, but with all the threats I have, it's just not, I don't feel that safe with that. I don't want anything pulled on me last minute or any spite happening in between.
All right, and how long are you requesting that this visitation schedule continues? Are you at some point requesting that he be given a standard possession order to visit with the children without supervision at the police station?
When there's a pattern of consistency, because that's been a huge issue. He has not seen my children in almost a year. So it's like my daughter doesn't even know him. He signed that birth certificate and fled. So it's like I want my kids to be able to be comfortable around him again. And my daughter, like, yeah, I just need consistency. That's what I'm really big on right now. As long as he's consistent, I am fine. I don't want any further issues. I have moved on and healed in ways that I need to, and I just need him to be held accountable, and that's it. So if he can give me consistency, then I don't mind giving him more. But that,
Right. And how old are the children, ma'am? You're on mute, ma'am. I'm sorry, can you unmute yourself?
my bad. My daughter's 1 and my son is 2, about to turn 3 in March.
And is there a certain age to which you feel that you'd be more comfortable with the father having the standard possession order when the children turn what age?
Not necessarily. I really just, it's just the consistency. It's just being able to meet and actually like meet me at that, well, not me, but like as long as he's meeting the terms that we're discussing now, I don't necessarily need to like hold him back for a certain age. Like, no, I'm comfortable as long as he's doing his part consistently. I know he works out of town. He's probably gonna tell me I can't see them this week. I'm out of town and this, like, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be a little issue there, but we'll get there when we get there.
And just to confirm, what police station are you requesting that this take place at? Here's that she's disconnected, Your Honor.
Okay, I was wondering if it was me. Okay, give her just a second here. All right. You're
I
back.
apologize, but yeah, to answer your question, sorry, I'm over explaining so much. This just gives me a lot of anxiety, I'm not gonna lie, but as long as he's consistent, I am willing to co-parent healthy. Like, that's the main goal here, is just to be able to, like, as long as you're meeting these terms, look, you're on my good side, we're good. But if
Ms.
you're not,
Rodriguez, the
yeah.
question that was asked is which police station are you requesting
Oh,
that this
police
take place
station
at?
is going to be, I believe he says, I'm not sure really necessarily where he resides. He says he's homeless, but apparently he has a house in Denton. So if we're having to meet halfway, is that what you guys would recommend?
Ms.
Is it-
Rodriguez, which police station are you requesting that this take place at?
Okay, we'll do the Plano Police Station, Plano Police Department, 909 14th Street, Plano, Texas, 75074.
And you are requesting that this take place on the first, third, and fifth Saturdays of each month, is that correct?
Correct.
All right, do you have any additional information you'd like to offer to the court?
Not at this moment. No, sir.
Nothing further from this party. At this time, Your Honor, the state would like to call Mr. Herrera. Mr. Herrera, can I get you to state your name for the record?
Andrew Herrera.
And Mr. Herrera, you are the father of the children here in this matter, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And are you requesting the last name be changed to that of Herrera?
Yes.
And just confirm there is no request for a DNA test, is that correct?
Correct.
All right, sir. Has there been any issues relating to family violence between the two parties within the last 2 years?
Several.
And when was the last incident, sir?
It was recent, but I don't want to get into detail about it. But I mean, like she said, we both caused conflict, so I'm not gonna play innocent. me breaking the windows was due to her breaking my car window in my car with her phone, and I I kicked the window in of our house. That was one of the incidents. But like I said, like we're not innocent. The kids. Do I fear for the kids? Yes, I do. Um, they've seen a lot of toxicness from both of us. Um, they've seen things that they shouldn't have seen, and I'm not the only one that gets out of hand. She gets out of hand as well. Um, but when she said, well, on to the next question.
All right, sir. As it relates to the prior report of family violence, the state is requesting that the mother be named as the sole managing conservator, which means she will primarily make the decisions on a day-to-day basis for the children. Are you in agreement to that?
Yeah,
And as it relates to your income, you are currently employed and making at or about $5,200 a month. Is that correct?
correct.
You have one additional child. Is that correct?
Yes.
And based off of your current income, the state is requesting, sir, that you pay child support in the amount of $910 per month. Are you in agreement to that amount?
Yes, the lady had spoken to me about the insurance, and I wanted to see if I would be able to put the kids on my insurance since I have good
Sure.
health insurance.
Herrera, again, only about the child
Yes,
support this time. Are you in agreement to that amount?
yes, yes.
As it relates to the medical support, sir, the state has requested that you pay a total of $300 per month for state medical. Are you in agreement to that amount?
No,
And could you explain to the court why you do not agree to paying the $300 for the current coverage for the children?
there's no reason for them to be on government assistance whenever I can provide the insurance myself through my company.
Is there any specific reason why the children are not currently covered if you have the ability to do that, sir?
We haven't talked about it.
All right. So who do you need to speak with, sir, to get the children
I
covered?
can get with my HR department later on today. Well, because I'm not sure. I got to do it. I know I need to do it before the office closes, and right now I'm in North Dakota, so time
And
difference is different.
what is the cost to have the children covered through your employer, sir?
Again, I'm not sure. I would have to contact with them.
So you don't know if the coverage would be more than $300 or less than $300 to spend?
It would probably be around the same. If not, I'm not too for sure. But I have Blue Cross Blue Shield with the company, so it's better than government assistance.
And again, so you're just assuming that's correct?
Uh, I mean, again, why do they need on be on government assistance whenever I can just go ahead and put them on my insurance? I know me and Jennifer haven't talked about it before, but it's something that I can do.
All right. And how much money did you pay, sir, when the children were born, when they were in the hospital?
At that time with our firstborn, we were together for quite a bit, and then we split up. So I was taking care of her. And then when we had our daughter again, we were on and off. Again, she wasn't working. I paid all the bills and stuff like that.
Mr.
I
Herrera,
couldn't give you I couldn't give you an estimate of how much, but it was, I supported them. Now she says that she's only giving me credit for
Mr.
eight.
Herrera, we haven't gotten into the child support. This is only about the medical support. So can you just specifically answer the question that was asked? How much money did you pay to the hospital at that time when the children were born?
None.
So the same insurance that you're stating that you don't want the children to be under, you use that for the children to be born. Is that correct?
I believe so, I guess.
All right. Now, as it relates to the retroactive support, sir, the mother has requested retroactive support for 10 months at a total of 9,000. Sorry, just 1 second here. At a total of $9,100, giving credit for $730, thus resulting in a judgment in the amount of $8,370, to which the state is requesting that you pay that at $78 per month. Are you in agreement to that amount?
No.
And in those 10 months, sir, how much money would you say that you've given to the mother directly for the support of the children?
Prior to the account that I have now, my other account got deleted. Um, in that account, prior to us being split up, I
Sir,
have spent. Oh, I'm getting to that point, sir. Please
we're
let me.
only speaking about the past 10 months. Could you only talk about the past 10 months, sir? not anything prior to that.
So within the last 10 months, in my Cash App account, I've sent her $4,000.
All right. And have you provided any proof of that, sir?
I have them in my bank history statements.
And when was the last time you sent money, sir? On what date?
The last time I sent her money, give me 1 second, I'll pull that up for you. The last time I had sent her money was December 19th in the amount of $430.
Is that the same $430 that she gave you credit for, sir?
No, sir.
All right.
There was we came to an agreement within these last 10 months that I was giving her. It started out from 150 every week, and then it went to 250, and then it went from 250 to 435 for daycare.
All
Again,
right.
I have those statements as well.
All right. And sir, are you stating that you've been paying daycare for the past 10 months?
Not daycare. This is before they just got into daycare. So I'm not sure. They've probably been in daycare for a couple of weeks. But prior to that, again, I said I was sending her money every week.
Prior to the 430, sir, when was the next date that you sent money?
Um, December 12th in the amount of 430.
So you're sending about $430 each week, sir?
Yes, that was right when they got enrolled into daycare because I told her that I would pay daycare so she can work and go to school. And then before that, I think that was around the time. Give me 1 second. That was around, I guess, December 12th is whenever I guess they got enrolled into daycare. And then the next payment before that, uh November 21st in the amount of 200. November 7th in the amount of 200. Um Give me 1 second. October 30 October 30th in the amount of 155. This one right here is October 29th in the amount of 450.
So just to confirm, sir, within a 2-day time frame, you sent
Correct.
$605.
Correct.
All right.
Right
And these
here.
were all
Right
for
here.
support for the children, sir?
What is that?
You sent these payments directly to the mother for the support of the children?
Yes, and I had, like I said, I got paper trail, man. I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and take credit for only $800. I mean, I have every week. It was like like clockwork. Every Wednesday, she would blow me up, send me money. I sent it to her.
All right. Now, as it relates to the issue of visitation, sir, are you in agreement to the mother's request that visitation take place at the um, police department located in Plano from 12 to 2 p.m. on first, third, and fifth
Prior
Saturday?
prior to your question that you just asked me, are you taking accountability for my credit that I've sent her money? Like I said, I have dates.
Okay,
Answer
again,
the
Mr. Herrera,
question. Answer the question only.
Yeah, that's fine.
all right, nothing further from this party owner. If I may quickly recall the mother,
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez, can I get you to unmute yourself?
Yes, I'm here.
The father has provided that he made direct payments to you via Cash App for dates December 19th, December 12th, November 21st, November 7th, October 30th, and October 29th. Are you in agreement to all of those payments?
No, I'm not. I mean, he can show them if he needs to. He paid 2 payments towards childcare, and the reason for that was because he knew we were going to be here today. Something about him finally realizing that I'm going to go to court and I'm not putting up with him discarding my children, amongst many others. He decided that, okay, maybe it's time for me to do something. Now, he owed me quite a bit of money once we went our own ways, and he paid me through that. Now he's trying to use those payments he made that I was paying his car note and I was doing things. Mind you, by the way, I've always, while even pregnant, was working. You have never, I mean, I'm sorry, he has never sat there and provided for me and my children. With my son, I gave birth alone, and I spent the first 7 to 10 months, 10 months probably, around there, raising him by myself. And then foolishly gave him another child just to be done the same way. So he can
Okay,
sit
Ms.
here and
Rodriguez.
say, Right, yeah, sorry,
On
I don't
December
mean to go
19th.
off topic, but it's just crazy to me that he's trying to get credit
Okay,
for
let's
something.
stop. Let's stay on topic. I got a lot of people here.
Okay, I
It's not
understand.
helping me with that extra information. Okay.
Okay, I understand. It's
On
frustrating.
December, on December 19th, ma'am, did he give you a payment for $430?
Yes, I have the two screenshots that say under there, childcare. And I'm gonna tell you the payment amount. So on December 19th, it says for childcare, $300. And then December 12th, it's $430. Those are the two payments in December that I received for my children because I let him know if we're going to court, they're in daycare, it's $435 weekly. You can help or you can wait till we go to court and we establish something. And that's when he began to start helping.
Okay, and on November 21st, did you receive a payment for $200?
Not that I'm aware of, not in regards to my children. He can
Did you
upload
receive a
those
payment for
documents if he needs
$200 at
to.
all, ma'am?
I'm sorry?
Did you receive a payment for $200 at all on the date of November 21st?
Nope, not that I can pull up. I don't
Did you
have that
receive
on I don't have that on my Cash App.
Did
He
you
says it
receive
was an old, I'm sorry, he's saying this is an old account that got deleted. So this is a Cash App he had prior to this court date. So, I mean, I don't know how that helps the case right now. It's an old Cash App. Like, I don't have that on my Cash App. So I'm not sure which Cash App he sent that to.
Did you receive a payment on November 7th for $200?
No.
Nothing further from this party owner.
Okay, I got a question here on the visitation, Ms. Rodriguez.
So,
From what I understand, that you're proposing there be supervised visits from 12 to 2 at the Plano Police Station. Now, first of all, you don't have to meet him halfway, so that's number one. We don't have to do that. But if you want to do Plano, that's fine. But I'm not requiring you to. Usually, we do it at a place near where you live because he's coming to you to visit the children. So we can modify that if you want, or we can leave it Plano. But from what I'm understanding is you want 12 to 2 supervised by you. There's no playground at the police department.
no, sir.
You're intending to sit in a car. I mean, the
No, I
children
don't
are
want
not
it
sitting-
supervised. I'm
Excuse
sorry.
me, I'm talking. The children are 1 and 2, so they're not really able to probably play at a park. So I don't know if you're envisioning staying in the car with him for 2 hours. Is that what you're asking to do, or what exactly precisely are you asking to do as far as supervised visitation?
Okay, supervised visitation, I don't want to be the one supervising. The caseworker before we entered this chat said that I can propose that my uncle, who I live with, can be there at the police station. Now, I mean, they do play at a park. My 1-year-old and 2-year-old, especially my 2-year-old, is very much active on a playground. And I would love for that to be the environment that they're spending time with their father, but the threats, the
They have it
text
at the police
messages,
office.
I'm sorry?
They don't have that at the police department.
I
though.
know, and I would hate for him and just to be like for them to not have anything to do. But how am I, before even this court date, I got messages of if you go to court, I'll make sure the kids get taken away from you. How am I comfortable with him? Like, I mean, I don't, if we, and I don't mind being in Irving. That's actually better for me. That's a good point. I don't have to meet you halfway. You're coming to me. And clearly you don't, I mean, I don't know, he's in North Dakota, whatever. I don't mind doing that there. If you feel it's in the best interest of the children that we meet at a park, or I'm not sure what else you would propose, but I'm open to that. It's just the threats and everything else that made me feel police department might be my safest option. If it wasn't the threats and everything else he's done, I would be more than happy to have my kids in a more playful environment.
But you want it to be supervised?
Yes, I do. I don't want to be the one there. As you can see, his attitude and his
That's not what
remarks.
I asked.
Okay, I just
I
know.
asked you to be
I
there.
don't want to be there. I would like for my uncle to be able to be there.
But
For
you,
this.
so you want it supervised.
Yes, sir.
Why does it need to be supervised?
Because I don't feel safe around him.
I'm not asking you to be there.
Oh, okay. Well, if I don't have to be there, like in that room, then I don't mind being the one to take my children. I wasn't sure. I didn't get no clarification on exactly how visitations go. This is my first rodeo.
Well, I haven't made a ruling yet, but
Okay.
normally what we do. Okay, let me just give you a couple examples, and then you tell me where you want to go. So, sometimes we have family violence issues. People feel comfortable only meeting at a police station for the exchanges. Mr. Herrera, you're not to be smoking while we're in court. So sometimes people meet at a police station for the exchange part. So that way there's hopefully nothing happening during the exchanges. I mean, we can have it where that your uncle be the one that brings the child if you want for the exchanges, if we're not doing supervision. So basically your uncle would take the kids from you, take them to him and meet him at the police station, and then come back at 2 hours later and pick the children back up. He wouldn't be doing any supervision. So Mr. Herrera would be able to go somewhere for a couple hours, maybe go to the park or McDonald's or whatever, he wants to do, and then bring the children back. That's what some people do as far as meeting at a police station.
Okay,
Some people meet at a park because there hasn't been a lot of visitation, like the children don't know who he is, which we have young kids, so that's kind of a difficult one there. But I mean, I'm not a big uh, I'm a proponent of people visiting, so that's not really something that convinces me a lot. But if there hasn't been a long history of visitation, which I understand you're saying it's infrequent, sometimes we'll do a kind of a phased-in visits where they'll you meet somewhere and they'll have just a few hours of visitation unsupervised, and then you can meet somewhere. I don't think a park's going to work because of the family violence issues, but and then the other problem is you can say your uncle is going to be the one that's going to help you with that, but if he's unavailable, then you're going to have to find somebody else to do it, and that makes it complicated too.
okay,
So, and then when we do supervised visits, that's different. I don't ever do supervised visits with the mother and father present together because that's just inviting more issues to happen in the future. So I definitely don't want to do that. But sometimes when we do supervision, we will pick somebody. First choice would be somebody in Mr. Herrera's family, hopefully grandmother, to do the supervision so that she be present during visitation. Um, or then the last choice would be somebody in your family. I'm trying to prevent conflict, and that's what we're trying to prevent because I do want Mr. Herrera to be able to visit if he chooses to. Now he doesn't sound that's another issue, but if he chooses to, I want him to visit. But I want you to be safe. I want y'all both to be safe, to be honest. I don't want either one of y'all having any issues. Um, and so we can do those kind of different ways. We can do where y'all just meet there, or somebody helps you meet there to exchange if we're not doing supervision, or we can even do a deal where he has to give you notice that he's gonna come, like 24 hour or 48 hours notice that he's coming. And we can do that way, or we can do the supervised visits. I am concerned, of course, if there's been family violence, why Mr. Herrera hasn't done a battery intervention program or any other program. I don't understand. That would be helpful for Mr. Herrera, especially since he doesn't follow rules like keeping his face uncovered, smoking in court. Obviously, there's a disrespect towards me today because he's not following my rules. So I probably can agree that there's probably been some other issues when we're outside of court. So those two examples, as far as whether it be supervised visits or it be where y'all are just meeting somewhere for the exchanges or somebody's helping you meet there for the exchanges, which of those are you asking for?
I would like to supervise. Can I bring up the domestic violence plan, safety plan did mention the family place. Is that something you guys would propose that he can go to? Like a facility where he can meet the kids called the family place, or is that something you feel like is probably not necessary because of the family violence? Because
It's
I would
possible.
like to make it easier, honestly. I don't want to make it complicated for the
It's
court.
possible, but that does make it more complicated. But it is possible. But then the next question is, what has he done to the children? I know he's done things to you that you're alleging he's done. Obviously, he's saying you did something to him. I mean, I'm not gonna. It's not a criminal case here, so I'm not trying to go there. But as
Right.
far as that's concerned, I am gonna make a finding there's been family violence because there obviously has been. But then it's like a deal where people family violence usually directed at the mother or the father, but not the children.
Okay.
So if is there family violence issues you have with him and the children?
No, sir.
You don't think he's going to harm the children anyway if he has visitation without supervision?
No, sir. I believe he has the potential to be a good father. I think it's just kind of breaking through all these other disrespectful habits and commentary. So you know what, I'm okay with meeting him at a police department to exchange the children for those 2 hours. And I'm willing to go ahead and give that to him and take them for those 2 hours to do what he has to do. But I will enforce that 24, 48 hour notice because I need the communication to better. Because like I said, there's been moments in this year that he's completely ghosted, changed his number, and I don't know how to communicate with him. So if we can get that notice enforced, that would be great. I would appreciate it.
Okay, so you don't feel that he would harm the children in any way, right?
No, I mean, no, he's a good person outside of the personal things that we went through. It's just, he's like, he could be a good father. That's why I'm here, because I know he can. It's just, we just need to do a little bit better on all the other things, so the respect and everything else. We need to rebuild that trust, because like I said, my daughter doesn't even know him. I don't want to just throw him at him, but she's so little, like you said, these are little babies we're talking about. So, yeah. I'm willing to give him that chance to show me that he can do that.
If you could Google where the Irving Police Station is, so we can
Yes,
put
sir.
that in the address, please.
Yes, sir. And I am moving to Plano in February, and their daycare, it resides in Plano. So if I do need to change the department, I can do that through you guys,
Well,
correct?
we need to be specific, so you need to pick a place.
Okay.
So
Well,
it doesn't have to be Plano.
in this case, let's stick to Plano, because I'll be moving there in less than a month, and I don't want to have to keep changing it. I don't mind making the extra drive there to Plano. And that would be Plano Police Department, 909 14th Street, Plano, Texas, 75074.
Okay, I'm just writing some notes. All right, I'm getting ready to make a ruling. So I'm making a finding. There's been family violence. Obviously, there's been family violence. Mr. Ed, I can't even get you to follow rules here in court. So that obviously, to me, that when we're out of court, you don't follow a lot of rules. You're the stronger person. You should know better than to try to threaten somebody that's weaker than you. It's very easy for me to make a finding. There's been family violence. You can blame the he said, she said, but you're the stronger person. You shouldn't be doing those things. So we're doing sole managed conservatorship. Ms. Rodriguez will be the primary person to decide any decisions that need to be made regarding the children. Granting her non-disclosure request, you're not required to let Mr. Detta know where you live. I don't know. Do y'all communicate through phone right now, Ms. Rodriguez?
Email. I kind of stick to emails to avoid.
Okay. All right, cool. That'll work.
Okay.
Let's see. Okay, so for communication, y'all can use email only, so no phone, no addresses, that kind of thing. We have an app on, if y'all opt to do it, I'm not going to order it today, that some people like to use called App Close. It's AppClose, and you both have to add that app to your phones, and then you can also communicate through there. And then if you need to, hopefully it keeps people civil because it can be printed out easier than your texts and used in court later on if it's necessary, like for a family violence hearing or something like that. So I'll leave that up to you, but email communication is fine. If you want to do that, obviously you can print out emails as well. But that's an option y'all can discuss if you want to do it that way. So that way you're both protected as to your speech that you give to each other. We're doing a name change for the one child to Herrera. One of you will need to take the next step. This is just the first step. You need to go to the birth certificate office to ask them to amend the birth certificate to change the child's last name with this court order attached to it. And then you'll also need to go to Social Security office for them to change it there as well. So it's not an easy process, but somebody needs to take that lead to do that. We're establishing Mr. Herrera as the biological father of both children. I don't know why it's such an issue for health insurance, Mr. Herrera. You had 2 children. I mean, when you have children, you got to add them on your insurance. If you've had insurance available, I don't know why you're waiting until today to do it. Other than you just doesn't make any sense. Not very.
Can I get a chance to say something, please?
No, it's not very responsible here. I mean, you have kids, there's medical expenses, then you got to get insurance if you have it available, if it's affordable. I don't know why you're waiting until today to all of a sudden say, no, I got insurance. I don't know why the mother put the child on government medical. Too late. Okay, you definitely can do it later
That's
on.
fine.
Don't talk while I'm talking. All right, so for now, we're doing government medical. If you want to enroll the children on your insurance, then you can definitely do that if it's cheaper than that, $300 a month. But you need to ask some questions of your insurance company. If they only insure people in North Dakota, that's not going to help a child that's living in Texas. So it might
My
cost you
job is
more
based
money.
in Texas, but
Excuse
I
me,
travel
stop
all over the
talking.
United States.
Why are you interrupting me?
Because I don't get a chance.
I'm not really asking for a question. It's a hypothetical question. I'm entering a ruling and you're supposed to listen. Maybe that's why you have the problems with Ms. Rodriguez, because you don't listen. Stop interrupting me. I'm making a ruling. All right, so you can provide insurance if you like, but you need to ask those questions about whether it costs you more money to do out of pocket or out of network costs. If it's going to cost you more, then I wouldn't recommend you do that, but that's something you can ask. I definitely would want to go with what's cheaper on insurance, but I don't know that, and you not knowing doesn't really help me. So you got to pay medical support at $300 a month. Child support is $910 a month. I'm doing a retroactive judgment. I'm gonna just give a little extra credit. It's gonna be a judgment of $8,000 instead of $8,370. That extra money is not gonna make a big difference here. It does accrue interest if you don't pay it off, but if you can't pay it off, you need to pay that at $80 a month. We're doing the visitation from 12 to 4. So it's gonna be 4 hours of visitation on the first, third, and fifth weekends of each month. Give me just a second. Saturdays. So visitation will be the first, third, and fifth Saturdays from 12 to 4 p.m. until the youngest child is 3 years old. You're going to exchange at the Plano police station. Ms. Herrera, you need to give her an email 48 hours before saying, I'm going to come for my visitation. If she doesn't get an email, she's not going to the Plano police station. So no more the last minute kind of deal. You know your schedule. If you're going to be here in town, you let her know I'm coming, and that way she knows to arrange for the child to be there, the children to be there. Ms. Rodriguez, you're not required to be there. If you want to allow somebody else to do it, just pick somebody that's not going to be in a conflict with Mr. Herrera. If the uncle is fine, that's okay. I want to make sure, like I said, both of y'all are safe and that y'all both don't have any issues. So just picking a boyfriend sometimes not a good idea. But let's try to be reasonable with that. Okay, so then if you choose to do something different than the plan, that's up to y'all too. And that takes both y'all to agree. If it were me, I'd want to put it in writing as to when that is, because otherwise I'm doing it from 12 to 4 for a long time here, since it's going to be probably for about 3 years. After that, then it'll be standard visitation order, which will be the first, third, and fifth Fridays at 6 until Sunday at 6, unsupervised, but still with the exchanges at the Plano Police Department. If y'all need to change the police location, like if you move again, because we're not going to revisit visitation ever again, probably. So if y'all need to change that place, you can talk amongst each other to change that. But what I would recommend is y'all stick to the schedule for now, since y'all have so many conflicts right now. Y'all don't agree on much of anything. Y'all need to kind of stick to the schedule. Maybe after a longer period of time, we can mature and we can figure these things out a little better. Let's see, and court cost billed to Mr. Herrera. I think that's all the issues. So, all right, so that's my order. I know y'all may not agree to it, but that's what I'm ruling based on what y'all presented to me today, and based on the evidence you presented to me today. And so that's what the ruling is. Mr. Tatum, anything else?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
All right, y'all are done with court. You can press leave on the Zoom to exit out.
Thank you.
My son is afraid to even see his father in fear of what his mom will do. She has punished him before for just wanting to come see me, and that's just unreasonable for me. And this is it's getting ridiculous. If I see my son up the street, like, I'm not gonna just not say nothing, but then he's fearful because her boundaries. I'm just, something has to give. I just want to see my kids. I'm okay with what this says, but not okay. A lot is lies on here, by the way, but I am okay with the parenting time. I didn't see him on Father's Day. I didn't see him on Christmas.